So this is our 7.3 section. We're at the top of page 30 for our notes. And we'll look at percent in this section. And we're going to skip through this fairly quickly because you've already done some work with percent in Foundations of Math. So per means divided by, and cent means 100, like 100 cents in a dollar, or a century is 100 years. So percent really means for every 100, or divided by 100. It tells us the part or the ratio out of 100. So if we write these as a percent, 60 out of 100 we would write as 60%. 40 out of 100 is 40%. 120 out of 100 is 100%. It's bigger than 100, so it's bigger than 100%. Ratios, decimals, and percents are all ways to compare two numbers. If we shade 3 squares here, we can write the ratio of shaded squares out of the total number of squares, 3 out of 12, and we could reduce that to 1 out of 4. We can write this ratio as a decimal. We take 1 divided by 4 and we get 0.25, or you should just know that 1/4 is 0.25. And we can write this ratio as a percent. So we really want this to be out of 100. So we can recognize that if we multiply 4 by 25, on the bottom that will give us 100. But if we multiply the bottom of the fraction by 25, we have to also multiply the top of the fraction by 25. So we get 25 out of 100, which gives us 25%. If we want to be able to change things back and forth, a decimal to a percent, so we multiply by 100%, or move the decimal place 2 places to the right. So 0.6, if we move this 2 places to the right, would give us 60%. We move this 2 places to the right, we would get 3.75%. Move this 2 places to the right, we have to fill in the 0 on the end, we would get 340%, and so on. To change a fraction to a percent, we change a fraction to a decimal by dividing, and then we change the decimal to a percent by, again, multiplying by 100%, or moving the decimal place 2 places to the right. So 1/2 we know is 0.5. Then I would need to move the decimal place 2 places to the right, which would give us 50%. 3/4 is 0.75. Move the decimal place 2 places to the right, and I get 75%. So 7 out of 20, if I do 7 divided by 20, I get 0.35, and there's a 1 in front, so this would be 1.35. Move the decimal place 2 places to the right, and I get 135%. Let's skip to E. 1 divided by 8 is 0.125, so I really have 3.125. Move the decimal place 2 places to the right, and I get 312.5%. This could also be written as 312.5%. A percent to decimal, we need to do the opposite. We would divide by 100%, move the decimal place 2 places to the left. When you see a percent sign, think divided by 100. That percent sign almost, if you turn it a little bit on its side, looks like a division sign, and the 2 zeros need to make you think of 100 with the 2 zeros. So if you see that sign, think divided by 100. So here I see the 50%, that means I need to do 50 divided by 100, and I would get 0.5. Let's look at C. Here I see 0.2, and the percent sign, so 0.2 divided by 100, and I get 0.002. Let's look at 9. First of all, let's change this to a decimal. So 9 1/4 is 9.25%. I haven't done anything with this percent sign yet because I haven't changed the number. So now I need to do 9.25 divided by 100, and that would give me 0.0925. When you divide by 100, then the percent sign goes away. To change a percent to a fraction, we put it over 100 and then simplify. So here we do 40 over 100, and then we can divide the zeros. We can divide by 10, it gets rid of the zeros. And then we can reduce by 2, gives us 2/5. Let's look at D. If we do 73 over 100, this doesn't reduce, so we just have to leave it like that. And if we look at E, this is 0.2 over 100. Okay, we don't want the decimal on the top, so that means we have to move the decimal place one place to the right. If we do it on the top, we have to do it on the bottom as well. So we really have 2 over 1,000. And then we can divide both the top and the bottom by 2. We get 1 over 500. You could also put this into your calculator. If you put 16 2/3 divided by 100 in your calculator, divided by 100, you get 1.